Dear children, welcome back to the chapter Meet Tom Sawyer. This is video number 3. So let's continue on page number 99. Till now, we have seen that Tom Sawyer, a young boy who lived with his Aunt Polly, his cousin Mary, his half brother Sid, was very naughty and a real troublemaker. This time he had eaten the forbidden jam and had missed his school. As a result, he was punished by Aunt Polly to paint the entire fence by snatching his Saturday freedom. When he was feeling helpless and sad, he thought of an idea. He continued to paint the fence very calmly. When Ben Rogers came there munching a juicy apple, and he was very surprised to see him doing the work. But Tom showed that he was not at all attracted towards his apple and he really enjoyed painting the fence. He convinced Ben that everybody doesn't get the chance to paint the fence. So he was very lucky to have got the chance to paint the fence. So Ben got convinced and he asked him to give him the chance to paint the fence. So let's continue at page number 99. Tom immediately protested, saying, "No, Aunt Polly is very particular about this fence. I think there isn't even one boy here who can do it correctly." So Tom immediately said no to Ben Rogers that he cannot give him the chance to paint the fence as Aunt Polly is very particular about this fence. And every boy cannot do it correctly. More enthusiastic than ever now, Ben continued to ask for the privilege of painting the fence. Underline enthusiastic. Enthusiastic means showing eagerness and interest. Underline privilege. Privilege means a special right. So now Ben Rogers was getting more eager and interested and asking for the privilege of painting the fence. Finally, Tom gave in, pretending to be reluctant in exchange for an apple. Underline gave in means finally Tom agreed and gave him the chance to paint the fence. Pretending, underline pretending means showing. Underline reluctant means unwilling, but he pretended that he was not willing to give him the chance to paint the fence in exchange for an apple. And while the victorious Ben worked and sweated in the sun, Tom sat on a barrel in the shade close by and munched his apple. Underline victorious who has won. Sweated means he worked hard and he was sweating. Tom sat on a barrel. Underline barrel means cylindrical wooden container. So Ben was working in the sun, whereas Tom was sitting on a barrel in the shade close by and munched his apple. Underline munched means eating, enjoying each bite. Soon more boys came along. They came to laugh, but they stayed to whitewash. And so it went hour after hour. By afternoon, Tom was rolling in money. Underline rolling in money. He had earned so much of money in exchange for giving them the chance to paint the fence. He had done absolutely nothing all morning, but the fence had 3 coats of whitewash on it. So Tom had not done anything since morning, but the fence already had 3 coats of whitewash on it, as he got this work done by all the boys. Meanwhile, Aunt Polly was sure that Tom would have run away from the job long ago. And Aunt Polly was very much sure that by this time Tom must have left the job and run away from there. So when Tom stood himself before her, she was taken by surprise. So when Tom stood before her with the complete work done, she was really surprised. "May I go and play now, Aunt?" asked Tom. "What? Already? How much have you done?" So Aunt Polly was really surprised. "It's all done, Aunt." Aunt Polly dared not to take any chances and she went outside to see for herself. So Aunt Polly she could not take the chance believing Tom that he had already done the work. So she went outside herself. She was astonished by the spectacle she beheld. Underline astonished. Astonished means surprised. Spectacle means a great sight. So she was really surprised to see the great sight of the fully painted fence. "Well," she exclaimed. Underline exclaimed. Exclaim means cry out suddenly in surprise. "You really can work when you have a mind to, Tom." So she's saying that if he wants to do some work, he can really do it well. Now Go along and play, she told him, inwardly quite pleased. Underline inwardly. Inwardly means within her mind. So now she told him to go and play. And inwardly, from inside, she was really happy to see that Tom had done the work very nicely. So this is a story of Tom, and this is how we complete the chapter, Meet Tom Sawyer. So here on page number 100, you have word meanings. So kindly go through the word meanings and learn them. Thank you so much.